Hey guys, it's me, Ria. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, good moment in time. The time is now. Everything is available to us now. All that we are, have been, and ever shall be is all accessed now. So I'm just hopping on, wanting to do a little message this morning. Well, I didn't want to right now. Actually, I didn't want to right now. I was trying to meditate. And spirit just kept jibber jabbering in my mind. And it just wouldn't shut up. And it was even like saying, take down some notes, write some of this down. So then, like, reluctantly, I decided to just text myself some little notes because I had no journal or paper or pen next to me. So I'm just going to share some information. Hey, Miranda, thank you for joining. Or is it Miranda? Yeah, Miranda. Um, Please share out if you don't mind. I'm just hopping on. I just wanted to deliver a few messages. So, like I was saying, I didn't have any notebook, and spirit was all hyperactive this morning, and I wasn't. But then all of a sudden, I got into meditation, and it just wouldn't let up, and all of these kind of ideas. But obviously, spirit was communicating to me with thoughts and ideas that I've been pondering. That's always how it goes through my own life experiences, questions. Spirit is always communicating me the answers. And that's the case with all of us when we're open. Like yesterday, I posted something that I was at the gym working out, and all of a sudden, I was on the elliptical, and spirit, like the word spirit, was illuminated. And I never even noticed that before. I've been on that elliptical a million times. Then the word spirit is there. And I look to the left, the word spirit is there on that treadmill. I look down at my pedals, the word spirit on a little label is there. I look to the right at a bike, spirit is there. And I'm like, holy crap. And and spirit was just letting us know, which is our higher self and our connections to all that we are in the non-physical. We are always there communicating. So obviously, spirit was there communicating with me this morning as I was trying to meditate. And I actually pulled up a Steve Noble meditation on like releasing dark magic and like, just not that I feel that I'm under the spell of dark magic, but any negative lower vibes, energies that might be in around that I'm not aware of. And then spirit decided to start elaborating on that message of dark energies. And dark energies, anything dark or dense, it is just the absence of light. Because everything at its original state is it's created, formulated, generated by love and light. But when the love and light is restricted or limited, or inhibited, it gets denser and denser, and it comes and gets covered with layers of maybe beliefs or energies or thought forms, misconceptions. That isn't that high vibration of the light it was originally created in. So then it becomes dense. It's a lower frequency, so it doesn't illuminate like it did. It doesn't shine like it used to. So it's also not anything outside of us. It isn't anything outside of us. But we might not be conscious of the dark energies or dark spots, which can be our shadows or little areas within us that's got a hold of us, but we don't know why. Maybe you feel unmotivated. Maybe you feel a sense of unworthiness. Maybe you feel a sense of depression. Well, those are just dark energies that are working within you based on other experiences that you're carrying within your cellular memory, your energetic body, that have not been transmuted. That's all it is. It's not necessarily an evil out to get you. Everything, if we are God's source energy, and if everything is projected from us, if everything is an extension of us, that's exactly what it means, Spirit says. That means everything. So when we find ourselves conscious of these dark energies, it is an opportunity to transmute them. It is an opportunity to question, to reflect, to ask spirit, what am I believing in that is creating this state of being, whether it be depression, unworthiness, what have you. And this is kind of like related to, I also was questioning or thinking, hey, I'd like to do a live later today of bringing forth energies from other timelines that are affecting us. And then that made me question or think about, well, we only have the now. The now is what we're present. Why focus on anything else? Why focus on any other timeline or aspect of ourselves that aren't part of my life right now? But the thing is, everything is intricately connected, and it is part of our right now, because we are multidimensional spirit timelines with us now. So that's how it's pertinent. That's how it is relating to our energy and our here and now. So if we have an energy on a timeline that was not resolved or transmuted, we have the opportunity in this here and now to transmute it. And we can even ask ourselves, well, how do I know what that energy is? Well, whatever shows up in your life at the moment is directly connected to that energy. Spirit showed me it like this. Say you are at a job and you want to move up the ladder, move up the line, or you want a position that you want, but you don't get it, or you feel a sense at your workplace or in life in general that you always have to prove yourself. You know deep down you're worthy. You know deep down you're gifted. You know you got what it takes, the tools, the experience, but somehow you keep being pushed down. Well, Spirit showed me that that is an energy, a light, a dark energy that you're transmuting that is connected maybe to another experience on another timeline you're having where your gifts were repressed, or you were persecuted, or you were looked down upon, or even in religions or beliefs or traditions of another timeline where you are aware of some information, you were enlightened, and you saw the truth in a scenario that maybe was causing resistance or walls, or causing people to be bounded or inhibited, or lack of freedom. You saw that, but then you were persecuted or judged, and so you knew the truth, but yet the outside world was reflecting or putting you down for that truth. And then you took it on as your own, knowing that that wasn't your energy per se, but it was an energy you came to transmute. It's always this and that. It's always your energy. But you didn't resolve that on that timeline yet. So in this timeline, that same energy is showing up as maybe you feeling repressed, or you feeling um, littler than you know you are, being being treated smaller than you know that you are, whether family, friends, work. So that gives us an opportunity to transmute that energy. Well, when people say you have dark attachments or energies, it can be that very energy within your field that you're not conscious of. But when soon as it's brought being conscious or brought to your awareness, then you can transmute it. And sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it's easy. Like you can say, oh yeah, that makes sense. Then shoo, boom, you transmuted it. Shoo, it just made sense and click, and you can let it go. It dissolves. But then there's those other energies you struggle with. Maybe being accepted, or feeling part of something, or abundance or finances. Those energies are allowing you to know, oh, this is going to take a little bit more work. I'm just going to work through it. I'm going to allow it. I'm going to accept it. I'm going to keep asking my higher self, what am I believing in that is reflecting this circumstance, situation, relationship, job, finances, what have you. So some things are cleared up, like, and some things are take a little more moving through that energy. And the moving through the energy, it takes a little more because our frequency isn't quite there yet where it's resonating with the other side of that darkness. So it gives us the experience through our awareness to work through something. And some journeys are longer because We're just transmuting more density, and that's okay. It's part of our journey. And then some areas, our frequency is up here, or we understand something already consciously, and then they're like, oh, that's why I did it. So what came to me this morning, good morning, guys. Hey, Kimmy Siegel. Hey, Gina Palazzo, Allison. Thank you guys for joining. Just talking about dark energies and how sometimes they're saying, oh, there's a lot of dark energies out right now, or even things you got to be aware of or clear all the time. But me, I intuitively feel and never felt fearful of any of that, and feel that if my frequency and I'm aligned, I have nothing to worry about. And then any darkness that does come to me, it's just an energy that I'm holding that I need to transmute. So the message is basically there is nothing to fear. The darkness is just a lackness, an absence or lackness of light. And there's really nothing to fear. It's all created from us for us. If, because nothing really exists outside of us, including the dark energies. They're just manifestations or beliefs of those energies that we're still holding from all time. And so I was shown, so Steve Noble, like I said at the beginning, I was going through a meditation, and he was talking about all the way different energies, dark energies or black magic can manifest, or how it at its root was. And religion came to me. So I, in a past life, believe, and like a lot of you, I'm sure, have a connection to a religion. And religions, consciously or unconsciously, are creating lower vibes or densities or beliefs. You can even call it black magic at an unconscious level, where we're taught to buy into a limiting belief, which is simply the absence of light. And we might be carrying that. In that life, you might have been like no different than Jesus being crucified, had this awareness in this light, but you weren't allowed to share it, or you were punished for it. So you could be carrying some of that in this life. And it shows up as feeling unworthy or having to prove yourself. Not even unworthy, but having to prove yourself. You know, you have all this light, but son of a bitch, man, why ain't I reflecting it? Why aren't I getting a financial abundance? Or why do I always have to prove myself? Or why am I always being faced with people that are poking you? Because you're still transmuting that energy from that timeline. But you don't even have to time travel to realize that. It'll just come to you. It'll just come to you because it's all connected. It's all within you. So a lot of you guys, I'm sure, are carrying that because you're all conscious, spiritual thought leaders, master light blasters. And in order to be that, you obviously have dealt with the other side. But you might be faced with challenges and struggles in this life. And that's related to that other timeline, but you're transmuting that energy. Or maybe you transmuted a lot of it, but there's still a little residual. So little situations will present themselves in this life that are connected to that life for you to transmute. And how do you transmute it? You allow it to go through your awareness. You just allow the feelings. You ask yourself, your higher self, what am I believing in that's creating this? You take that step back, be neutral. Observe from that higher perspective or separated point of view, not getting caught up in the drama or the emotionality of it, and just observe it. And when you do that, it creates space for the answer and for the light to come through. So say you're caught up in this family drama all the time, and when you're in it, there's not enough separation for the light to come through, or the answers are the light. The instruction, the guidance is the light. So you got to kind of remove yourself, observe it, allow it, and then the light, which is containing information, the answers and the guidance will come forth. And then it merges and transmutes that. Good morning. Good morning, Gina. Day off? Or yeah, Fridays are your day off, right? So I don't know, man. And I couldn't even, like, when I was meditating, I'm like, shut up for a second. I'm trying to meditate. So it's kind of having this little rapport with spirit. And then that energy builds, and you just got to act on it. So I actually was going to meditate, go to the gym, then do some messages. But no, that's okay. And that's fun. I just kind of go with the flow, even though my human self wants to struggle with it a little bit. So another thing that I was thinking about is, originally I wanted to do some readings. What energies are part of that past that are reflecting to us to transmute now? And you know how we say we are only supposed to be in the now, or some people will say, ah, it doesn't matter. But then other people say, well, the past, the other timelines affect the now, which is true. They think of it as when you feel like that guidance to explore, trust it. Because there's times when you are truly just focus what's before you. And then there's other times where you're guided to say, open up that door. They showed me it, and I thought this was really cool. Like a spice rack. You might have some spices that you use the most right next to the stove when you're cooking, like seasoned salt or grinding pepper or thyme or whatever you use the most of. It's right there. But yet you have these other spices in the cupboard that are closed. And they're saying those spices are all kind of like your own experiences, your own flavor, the things you've experienced. And sometimes you just want to go to the other cupboard and take that spice and add it to your recipe because you need it. It infuses it with love, light, knowledge, but in this case, flavor. So think of the other lives, other timelines, all these spices that you have in a cupboard. The door is shut. So that cupboard within itself is like its own reality. But when you open it up, you can extract and take what you're called in the moment to use in your moment of now as you put together a recipe, a soup, even a cake. And you got to work through those energies. Like I said, you can have everything exposed right there. Like, say you have I'm going to use a cake analogy now. Say you got your shortening, your eggs, your baking powder, baking soda, salt, whatever it is you're using. And you dump all the ingredients in the bowl. Well, that's not going to bake a cake. Just like you can have all the information and ingredients and knowledge in your life, but it's not going to be a fulfilled experience unless you work through it. You merge, you work with the energies, you play with the energies, you mix them up. You mix them up and then you bake it. The baking is like that transmutation or alchemizing of energies. And then it comes out, oh, that's the light. So it might seem like a ball of mush. And then you cook it, you mix it, you allow yourself to experience and go through it, which is the transmutation, which is the alchemization, which is putting your own light being on that situation as you work through it. And then boom, there's the light. It's express. It's like when you take all the ingredients, you're literally creating and taking these components and making something else. And then it's bigger and better and yummy. So I just wanted to share that because I absolutely love the spice analogy or the salt or whatever it is, the ingredients in the cupboard you don't use. So I thought that would be fun to do a collective reading. I'm going to do a collective on what are those ingredients that want to be used right now or be brought into our awareness to enhance, think of it this way, to enhance our experience. And a lot of it is experimentation too. Sometimes we might try a new recipe or tweak it a little bit, and sometimes we like it and sometimes we don't. That is the same as life. The contrast will show us what we don't like, and that's good. But those other flavors that we add, seems good. And that can even be a metaphor for spiritual tools. Some tools feel right, some teachings feel right, and some are contrasts to let you know what you don't believe in. For me personally, it's having to worry about the dark energies or worry about anything outside of me. And at certain times in my life, I have gone through that and asked for guidance and assistance and put a little pyramid and asked for Jesus to protect me when I was actually operating and in less consciousness or awareness of the truth of what the dark is. And even now, if I'm in the bed at night and everything's dark and something still could spook me. But again, that's just my own non-transmuted energies that still need a little bit more transmuting or understanding or knowledge. So at one time that information might have resonated, and now at this time it doesn't necessarily resonate, and things can change just like your ingredients. Sometimes you become sensitive to certain ingredients or foods now, and that sensitivity is allowing you know maybe just take it out of your diet. There's so much reflection of everything, the spirit world and the tools. Oh, it's snowing a little bit. With the spices of the recipes and how we mix things. So trust yourself, discern what is right for you. Sometimes it doesn't feel good or it's not right. Trust that. And then other times it's like, oh, this seems really crazy. And the average spiritual thought form person doesn't believe that. Who the hell gives a shit? As long as you do. discern it and take what works for you. And then you create this beautiful recipe. And the beautiful recipe can be like a beautiful experience, or you can look at it as a beautiful life you had, like parallel life. There's so much symbolism in food. So trust yourself. So at the end of last year, discernment was coming across, and how we're given all of these energies to discern, but also to take action on your own discernment. So we're being called to take action on that which we finally are aligning to or tweaking to or understand to be our own, unfiltered. So don't be afraid, trust it enough to take action and follow through on it as well. For me, it is simply giving out this message. Some people are going to say, well, you need to protect, there are blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there are. It is always this and that. There are, if you're operating in that belief system or that absence of light, that is true. But now, as we expand, evolve, ascend, a lot of that dark area, those darkness or belief systems are dissipated with light, and then it no longer serves you. Just like if you hurt your leg, you might need a, a cast or a crutch or a cane, and you work through those energies, and then boom, you don't need it anymore. You don't need that crutch. So what they're saying is the tools and things that we might be given in the spiritual community or any other community for that matter is kind of a crutch to help us through something as we become stronger in ourselves, as we become more healed and aligned within our own energy. And then when you have that strength and that light and that balance, then you don't need the crutches, or you don't need to lean on the tools as much. They are definitely a gift. We definitely created them from our higher self to be utilized at that frequency, at that state of being. And then we can let it go. Just like certain foods, you might lean on certain foods to be that emotional filler until you're emotionally fulfilled. Not that it's exactly the same, but you get the gist. All right. So thank you guys for sharing out who have shared out, and please share out if you haven't. Let me just look at comments here. Hey, Julie, hugs and kisses. It's making sense, clicking for me right now, especially. Thank you, Miranda. So your affirmation of this message. So thank you so much. Good morning, Kimmy Siegel. Allison Renee Noso. Thank you for joining. I can tell I'm going to need this message just based on the title. Oh, that makes me so happy that it resonated, because I always struggled with that as well. And if you want to go way back, like late 20s, when I was kind of evolving or questioning my Catholicism, I had someone tell me, Marie, you got to watch out for the devil all the time, because they'll appear to be God, but they're not. And I questioned that. And I said to myself, well, if everything is of love and of God, then if I just trust in love, isn't that enough? I don't need to worry about the devil tempting me. And the answer was, yeah, that's true. And any other temptation or devilish or dark experiences are still a gift for you to transmute to the light. What in your energy, consciously or unconsciously, are you still tied to? And that can be even considered the attachment. They'll say you have some dark attachments. It's not that there's this outside separate being sucking you. The attachment is an energy that's still woven in your consciousness that you're believing in or attaching to. And as soon as you see it for what it is, then it can dissipate, and it doesn't have to affect you. And then it's detached because you transmuted it to light. You found the deeper meaning, the truth of it. Oh my God, that's really powerful. This is very powerful. So that's what a real attachment is. It's not outside of you. It's an extension of you that's still reverberating or working in your system that you're not conscious of. But yet you, as a warrior, a master light blaster, came to blast open the truth of it. Wow, that's so awesome. Holy shit, that's so cool. Yeah, a lot of us have, and I find that I resonate or have a lot of people, Gina, as well. We always draw into people and our experiences and their wisdom and knowledge gained from stuff where we resonate, and it can spark us or trigger us to our own ahas, or we hear something from someone who had a similar experience, and then it opens us up a little bit, and then we trail off and come to our own understanding and connection to our spirit. So let's go see right now what spices are in the cupboard, other timelines that are supporting us. And even those that don't seem to support us, everything is always supporting us. Even the dark attachments are supporting us because it's giving us knowledge to take back into spirit. We're always feeding back into spirit, our oversoul, our higher self. We came to have the physical experience, not just thought and theory, but the experience. And as we work through and transmute these dark energies and see them for what they are, that they're just us lacking the light areas and certain beliefs, then that information is expanded through all eternity. So that's why we go through it. We came to do that. It's part of being a master light blaster. Speaking of master light blaster, whoops, whenever I have my phone sideways, it just kind of screws me up. Let's just breathe in to our portal, our heart space, before I draw some oracles. Our light, our eternal light, the light that we are in the non-physical, as we are totally connected to our pure love light source energy. We'll connect to that and see what it wants to bring forth. And what we connect to, we reflect. And as we connect to the dark energies and see them for what they are, they don't have power over us. That's what they are. They don't have power over us. We came to demonstrate our God source light energy through the physical, not by force, but by just being who we are. And then what do? See all the darkness around? Shoom, you're just blasting your light by being. The sun isn't trying to do anything coming up over the horizon. It just is. And in its isness and allowance and observation and surrender and acceptance to everything before it, it just shines its light. It's like, it doesn't worry about coming up in the morning and seeing the darkness and having to make it light. It just is through its presence, through its awareness. And as we journey through our life, this is what we are. We're just shining beams of pure God source energy, and that will take care of it. It's when we get stuck, and that can be the attachment too, when we suction into an idea or a belief that really isn't illuminating as light as this. That's when we can kind of get caught up in it, and we're called to just take a step back, breathe into your center, your moment of now, your all-knowingness, and just be and observe it. And this light will create space to dissipate that darkness. Like the sun comes up and it's just shining. It's not trying to change Joe Schmo. It's not worried if it's shining bright enough. It doesn't care if some clouds get in between that and the earth. It doesn't care. It just shines. That's what we're called to be, to do. We are. All right, so we'll just take a nice deep breath in, guys. Dropping from the mind, feeling into your heart portal. That is your connection to you and to all that you are. And exhale. All right. And even Spirit just wants us to bring this. And me, personal, as a human being, I can look at someone and say, oh man, they seem so dark. They seem so unenlightened. Well, that's also me, maybe judging through my own lens and putting it on somebody else. I'm not seeing the lightness. Like dark is the absence of light. And it's up to me. It's up to us, guys, to see the light, to allow it. Not even to see it, to allow it. Then step back. Don't be hard on yourself and say, shit, I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't be thinking that. No, you came here for those experiences. So don't be hard on yourself when you don't think you're operating in the light. Spirit is saying that because we are so hard on ourselves for having our humanness. But that's also part of it. And it doesn't feel good to us. So it gives us the opportunity to know it doesn't feel good to judge or just to say, oh, that person's not light, or that situation or the world sucks. Take that step back and just shine your light and be the space holder for the light to permeate, to illuminate. All right. What do we got going here? All right. What energies are supporting us right now from another timeline? So I'm going to ask the angels and ancestors See here what we got here. As hold light, I see a tear of joy on your right eye. I feel your love so proud. Oh, you're so beautiful, Gina. Oh, all right. So I'm going to do a collective. I will stick my PayPal up if anyone wants a personal, but I'll also pull some for Sherry Outers too. Pay. Oh. And if anyone wants a personal, I'll do the same reading, but on a personal level. And you can say, well, what's the difference? Just trust yourself. You get what you need. You feel like having a personal and you feel guided, do it. Trust your discernment. If you don't feel like it that day, don't. Spirit's always got answers no matter what. So it just depends. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. All right, but this is a collective, and that's kind of like just the overall energy, but it might hit you very personal. So we'll see. But when you do a personal, it's like taking that magnifying glass and zooming right in on you. Shoo. All right. So I'm going to pull an angel and ancestor. What spice do we need? What energy from another timeline are we bringing into our awareness now to support us, to help us transmute energies, or to illuminate us even more? Something we need to know about ourselves. And it's fun. We also came for that. There were times also, even when I was choosing a meditation this morning, some meditations will say, and trust yourself, you're guided to different things in different moments. So I was listening to one lady, beautiful, she does Icon, Louise Kay, and I was doing one of her meditations, and she quiets the mind. She doesn't even guide it. Like, I like guided meditations sometimes because it keeps me whatever, but sometimes a guided meditation will actually keep you focused on something, preventing something else to come through. So do whatever is right at the moment. So this morning I picked Steve Noble, and I said, dark energies, I don't even really like believe in any black magic on me. But I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to listen to this in case there's a timeline I'm not conscious of, and just give me some greater understanding. And then this whole message unveiled. So I was supposed to listen to that one. So there's times for active, there's times for quiet. There is no one size fits all for every moment, guys. Not just every person, every world, every reality, but even every moment, every experience. Because some realities, they're operating in universal laws that are different from us, and that doesn't fit us, but it fits them. Just like every moment can be broken down, like being that one drop in the ocean that contains everything. Every moment also gives us exactly what we need, and it can be different at different times, and that's beautiful. So the point of I'm questioning, why did you give me that analogy? Because every drop in the ocean contains the whole ocean. Well, every moment of now contains all of the truths, and they're all applicable to, dependent on what you're experiencing or being guided to. That's what Spirit is saying. Every drop in the ocean contains the entire ocean. We're the drop, we contain all of it. Every moment also contains all of it, all of the tools, all the recommendations, all of the guidance, but it's up to us through our discernment to choose what is applicable for us in the now, and to trust that guidance. You can't do it wrong. The only thing you can do is push it away. It's about allowing in this new timeline we're creating. It's not about pushing, stopping. It's just allowing and trusting in our own discernment. Shoot. All right. Let's sit on the floor now. I was on my knees the whole time. My legs are gonna feel funny. Okay. So I'm gonna pull this one. Let's just pull an array. Let's see. Okay. This is just fun for me, guys. And thank you guys for being here. Thank you for sharing out. Thank you for shining your light on this platform, because you guys are shining information and knowledge that I would not be transmuting, bringing forth without you here. I'm just open to deliver what Spirit wants to bring forth from the highest frequency that we're able to receive. That's all. That's always what my intent is. Spirit is saying, choose your focus wisely. And that's kind of funny, because that's kind of the opposite of what they said. You can't do anything wrong. When they say choose your focus wisely, Spirit is saying, choose your focus on that which you want to expand. Choose it on the positivity, the thoughts, the goodness. And there's all of that in even remaining neutral, they're saying. Sometimes it's more important to maintain that sense of neutrality than it is to get caught up in the energies before you. And then that's your purpose then, to remain neutral. That's choosing a better focus than applying it in an area you don't want to continue to densify. All right. What else here? When was this one? All right, a couple here. I'm going to pull three. You know, I like the power of three. I'm going to pull three different ones. I'm going to pull the ancient and ancestors, wisdoms, the house of night. So this is kind of saying, okay, what in that darkness needs to be brought forth? What light needs to be brought forth or infused in that dark moment? What needs to be drawn out of it? All right, and then that'll be it. When they say, Spirit is saying, when they say you don't know how powerful you are, you really don't. And now it's a time to play. It's a time to play and experiment and delve into your power. They're saying we are in a timeline now where we are delving into our power. We're playing and we're experimenting. In the past, it was about shadow work, learning about ourselves, trying to discover our power. And now their Spirit is saying, you guys are full into your power. It's always expanding. You're always growing. You're never going to know the extent of it when you're limited in the physical, but you can gain glimpses of the entirety of your power as you traverse your life, as you allow it, and allow yourself to play and connect to the other aspects of you when you're called to, meaning the multidimensional parts of you. Even that in itself is telling you how powerful you are, that multidimensional self. Did you believe you were multidimensional when you were young? Probably not necessarily to the degree. You might have been fascinated with time travel or science fiction. But the way that the information is coming through now and we're ready for it, it really helps us to understand it at a present moment understanding. We're consciousness. We have many lives happening all at once, but we're focused on this one. But all of those other energies are tied in and working back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right. So for all of you guys out here watching now and later, the ancestor archetype energy that is supporting us now and that is we're really illuminating in our life and is being illuminating, it's being enhanced, is the trait. Whoops. The traitor looks like Jesus to me. So this is really, really beautiful. Jesus represents Christ's consciousness, unconditional love, stepping in and believing in living their own personal power, faith, but yet living as that human, still dealing with the human characteristics, which is so beautiful because it be really, really, it's so humbling. It's so humbling to be a human. Jesus is saying it's so humbling to be a human. But this is a trader. What does a trader do? They give and they trade goods. It's a giving and receiving, a giving and receiving, a giving and receiving. So the energy supporting us super duper right now, and the energy that we're really walking into, is connecting to our own heart space, connecting to that heart space, guys, operating from that. The heart is the sun is you, or the physical sun is the reflection of that. Holding dear, anchoring in our heart, knowing that that connects us multidimensional, knowing that that is our divinity. When we connect to our heart, we operate, even our mind is flooded with divine wisdom and knowledge and operates from a higher mind. And in this blanket, like it looks like he made that pillow. He's giving it from the heart. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. If you actually hold out your hand like him, he's got a big pillow in his hand and he's got his hand on his heart. Holy shit, just do that. It literally opens up my heart and brings forth great emotions of love and joy. Because we're creating, and our gifts and what we're creating are heart-centered, heartfelt. And that in anything we're creating, whether it be a recipe, a message, a painting, words, a post, it is all so heartfelt. And it brings unconditional universal, it puts us in the universal flow of love and the natural workings of the universe, which is unconditional love represented by the pink, the higher love, higher heart. In the pink represents that love, that comfort, that compassion, but it's a pillow. What's a pillow do? You can rest, lie down. It's comfortable, it's cuddly. You want a nice soft pillow when you go to bed. So it brings comfort and rest. So the message here is we're operating from the heart. We're opening up, and we're really stepping into that archetype of Jesus Christ, whatever that is for you. It's that unconditional love as a human, walking in unconditional Christ consciousness as a human. And we are giving and receiving energies from the heart, and it's providing a greater comfort. It is releasing the darkness. This pillow doesn't look like it'd be a pillow giving you nightmares of demons and attachments and all of that. We can rest in where we are right now. There's also a message of we've done so much shadow work and work and been hard on ourselves. It's time to rest. It's time to rest into our divinity. Doesn't mean we don't do anything, because he's still a trader. He's still creating. He's creating from a more restful state, a more peaceful place, a place of contentment, fulfillment, honor, grace, one with his divinity. That's the energy of this new timeline that we've just stepped into. Trader. And what does it say here? I should see. Exchange energy to create abundance. So as we operate from this heart space, we're creating that abundance more than ever. So many of us are really caught on the abundance of finances and money, because that's what we have been really taught. That's what we've been anchored into. That's what we were taught growing up, that is where our security is. So we still have those energies operating. It does not mean that you will not receive finances, but there's a greater abundance that we are creating. And that is the community of giving from the heart, giving and receiving. We're going to have everything we need. We do have everything we need in the moment when we need it. Doesn't mean having a bank store as we live, a storage, a bank, or whatever. My son yesterday says, Mom, wouldn't it be cool to just have a bank, a money house? And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, oh, just to have a house where you go and grab the cash and money you want. And I'm like, yeah, that's really cool. But it's true. Abundance isn't necessarily having a physical house or a bank account with all that money, but knowing that we do really symbolically have all of that when we operate from the heart, because the heart is a giving and receiving, and it's eternal, and it's unconditional, and it's accepting, and it's life. So when we operate from the heart, that is the condition we're creating for ourselves on this new timeline. That is beautiful. And just the patterns on the wall, I don't know. I'm not good with codes and all of that. I know the codes are there. I don't need to know the details, but to me, it's also, this kind of represents codes. The wallpaper or tapestry there represents all the activations of light codes that we are now living. And how did we activate those light codes? Guess what? We guess what? We activated them by traversing and allowing the density, allowing the darkness, and confronting it, and allowing ourselves to go through it and transmuting it. We activated the codes of light within us. That is why and how the dark attachments are gifts, because it actually activated us as we allowed it, confronted it, brought it into our awareness. How beautiful. So that is the energy supporting us. Go figure. All right, and I'll do this one real quick. And this one is the wisdom house of night. So this could represent energies that we weren't aware of, that kind of stuff. All right, house of night, 18-9. Oh my God, this so wraps it up. So 18 is a 9, which represents a cycle we've ended, getting off that wheel, getting off that boogeyman cycle. The spirit is saying the boogeyman. I don't know if any of you guys were taught that, oh, you can't go out at night, the boogeyman's going to get you. And that kept us fearful. It kept us disempowered. It kept us separate from the outside. It kept us separate from the darkness and the boogeyman and the devil and the demons. But we never were. That's the illusion. It is all us. But it's representing energy that we've come to transmute into the light, to see it for the truth that it is. Just like at night, sometimes like on Monsters Inc. or at night, shadows seem really big. Like at night, you're in your bedroom, and as a kid, you might see a shadow, and it conjures up all sorts of thoughts and fears because it looks like a demon or a devil or what have you. But that is just you facing the beliefs of the past that you've come to transmute. I think of that now because I was brought up with devil mentality, hell, God's watching you, he's going to punish you. And so then we will play out those energies in order to see the truth of them. And then that brings forth the light. those ideas, thoughts that now I feel now I want to cry because it's kind of sad when you look at it. All of those ideas put on us as children, kids, generations, traditions, just say all these other countries, whatever their religious beliefs were put on them by disempowered people. So if you take a disempowered, fearful person, they're going to keep creating and handing down generations of the same energies until someone decides to wake up. And we've all done that. You guys are all master light blasters. You've woken up. You've enlightened. You've lightened up the density and the darkness by seeing it for the truth that it is. The boogeyman ain't real. You see it for the light that it is. So when they say we are enlightened, it's because you guys are master light blasters, lightening up the darkness and the density of the beliefs created by disempowered people. Because all true power comes from here. It's not force. It's not trying to create a system where people are judged, punished, forced to conform, forced to fit in. All true power comes from here. And isn't that the story of the little Christ child, a little innocent baby with all that power? Because he was there to hold and be that space and that path for unconditional love. And that's where true power is. So forbidden, number 18. So we are ending cycles, the 18 representing a 9, ending, stopping those loops, stopping those ancestral hand-me-downs of disempowered beliefs. Forbidden. In the past, we were taught that it was a sacrilege, probably, to think you were powerful, to think you were God, to think you had the answers within. It's been a gate, a door that's been shut for many eons and covered up by thinking there's a judging God, there's a God outside of you, there's a power outside of you or separate from you, there's demons outside of you, there's punishers outside of you. And so many things we were taught were forbidden. But now we see what the forbidden was. It was a lie. Nothing truly is forbidden. You're God source energy. You are co-creators and all that ever has been and ever will be. So we're opening up this. We're opening up that golden door. We're walking through, we're stepping through, we're entering our temple, the temple of all that we are, God's self. You know how they always say, honor the temple, you're the temple of God. Well, you are. And now it's time to open up that door and embody it and be it. We've gone up the stairs. One time I was really afraid. And when I was becoming really more enlightened or spiritual, I was probably like 30. And I went to a reader, and he was telling me of all his experiences as he became, more aware, and he'd see demons. And he said, you got to be careful. You're going to see a lot of demons and evil things, the things that I have seen. But that's his energy he was carrying, and that was his soul contract in his path. But nonetheless, he says the demons or the evil is attracted to those that shine bright, implying that I shine bright and I better watch my ass. So I was afraid when I went to bed that night. And I had a picture of my guardian angel, just, a picture she did in college. And it was hanging by on one of the walls. And I was so afraid. I begged Jesus to protect me. I put a pyramid around me, and I was really afraid all that night. And it was so beautiful because my angel or higher self said, holy shit, she just can't handle this. I'm going to talk to her. So the angel in my mind said, look at the wall, loud and clear, like in me though. And I was awake. And so I looked at the wall and there was nothing. I'm like, and then it's so me because she talks so matter-of-factly and a little irritated and impatient. And she goes, no, the other wall. And I looked, and it was my angel, who I named Elizabeth, or I was intuitively guided that it was Elizabeth. And then she proceeded to say, I will help you up the ladder. I will help you up the ladder. So to me, the staircase always represents the ladder to truth, the ladder to freedom, the ladder or the stairway to your self-empowerment, your God source energy. That's what we're doing. So the wisdom of the night is we were taught certain things were forbidden, bad, evil, or whatever, but it's the flip side that is true. We're ending that cycle and we're entering our temple. That's the point I was getting at. Your body is the temple of God because you are God source energy. So the flip side is all of that darkness was an illusion preventing us from stepping into our power and our light. But the way to our light and our power is simply to transmute that darkness, to see it for what it is, an illusion, a lie. Disempowered energies created by disempowered people. Beautiful. And then the last one, the overall consciousness card, which is called the mystical wisdom of the reading for today, is vacation. I love this little girl. I pulled this one for myself yesterday. It says, take time for relaxation and adventure. So that goes along with this. Relaxation, representing the pillow, resting in your love and light, allowing the love and light to do the work behind the scenes that you once thought you had to do by force, trusting your intuitive guidance, the guidance that you're receiving in your mind, when to act, when not to act, which requires discernment. Discernment is always acquired through your heart space. And so that's part of the relaxation and adventure. You can have an adventure and relaxation without the weight of the world, without the weight of the forbidden. When you release the forbidden, then look, you're like on a magic carpet, like this little girl having an adventure, being at peace, connecting back to that child, rising above. So she's rising above the physical world on her magic carpet. She's of the world, but she's not caught up in, say, the lower vibes of it, because she's risen above. And because she's risen above, she doesn't see the drama. She doesn't see the darkness. She doesn't have any devils chasing her or boogeymans. She sees the world from the higher perspective. Beautiful, harmonious, nurturing, life-giving, bright, free, represented by the birds. She's blooming. She's a flower opened up. You guys are all opened up lotuses. Even the dark energies, she sees them for what they are. They're flying free now with her. She's allowed the dark energies to fly with her, but guess who's ruling and leading it? Her. She's deciding, she's discerning. So she is free on her magic carpet, and life truly does become a magical adventure when you can free yourself from those forbidden, illusionary beliefs, energies, thought forms, attachments. This is the state that I'm not trying to even say step into. This is the timeline we're on. This is the timeline we're on. Looks like new earth, looks like heaven on earth, looks freeing and peaceful. Yet she's getting a lot accomplished because she's traversing a lot of territory and energies on her magic carpet. All right, guys. Can't have been called stubborn. Definition: stubborn is not conforming to the mother's will. Am that I am. Yes. Knowledge of self. Oh my God. So Gina, you say, I'm going to shine this little light heart of mine. So yesterday's live, I think you might have watched the replay, you said, or maybe it was a different one. But anyways, you were working and Frank Goodhue comes on and he says, the song, I'm going to shine, this little light of mine is going to shine. And so he shared that. And now you're actually saying the same thing. This little light of mine is going to shine. Oh my gosh, that's so funny that you've been dreaming that song. All right, guys. So I just want to share that, kind of like smashes the devil's energy. And those that have watched YouTube channelings of Lucifer or whatever, that he's really our best friend because he shows us those areas. He plays the role as evil, but he's just showing us the energies that we're holding that are absent of light, that we're still here to infuse with light. That's all. So some of us take Jesus's hands, but when you take Jesus's hands, you can also take the devil's hand, Lucifer's hand, because to live totally, it takes both. it takes both. We can have all the light, we can embrace our light, but we still have to go through those dark energies because they're on every timeline with us until we transmute them. All energies are with us on all timelines, but every timeline we're working through a different maybe contract or soul, and it affects every timeline. You know what I mean? So as we heal an energy or align or see the light in an energy that we've experienced on some other timeline that we don't remember, but we're holding the energy, as we relive it in a different way or scenario and see it for what it is, it automatically heals all those timelines. So it's almost like at some point in this now, it only takes this now, guys. We don't have to worry about what we're doing over there, but it's fun to grab a spice or take a peek in the cupboard to see what's supporting us, because that gives us an aha, or it gives us support, or gives us relief, or gives us greater understanding. But it truly is, everything is available now, because even in the now, you're accessing that.
but it's in the now of everyday situation that you bring your awareness to, allow and surrender to, that you're expanding, illuminating, expanding and illuminating, but it's doing it over there. So it's almost like at some point we're just going to shoot, almost like collapse into just pure light. It's almost like eventually this is just like what it is. You're just going to, what's it called? Shoot. All right, guys. If you guys have made a donation, let me know. If you, what's the word? Shared, let me know. Kimmy, if you're still there, let me know. Because I know you share out, you pop on, and if you want a message, let me know. Whoever is there left, who wants a quickie, let me know. And I will do the House of Night cards. Just showing us that any unconscious or unaware energies that we're actually illuminating, and that can help like make sense. It can make something click, and then you might relate it to a personal situation or something you're going through, and you're like, holy shit, that makes sense. I can let that go. And then it's instantly zoop, zapped with your light, because you're master light blasters. You guys are master teachers. You're all masters here on some level, or you would not be part of this. Not just part of the live, but part of this timeline. You guys are on this timeline because you have surrendered. You've allowed the darkness. You've allowed your fears. You've allowed your joys. You've allowed your quote unquote mistakes. You've allowed all. You have, even though you don't earn stuff, you already are all of that. But in human terms, you have earned this timeline. It's a result of that exchange of energy. That it's reflecting that Jesus card I had there. All right. Someone must want a card. Okay, having my coffee with you. Thank you, Kimmy. Thank you for holding space, and thank you for shining your light, because I know, and now I feel all my heart opening up. You are a key component, not just you and Gina and anybody watching now or later, because energy knows no time or space. You guys are the ones creating this message. It is through your insight, your awareness, and your wisdom. Wherever you place your awareness or set your energy, you're literally transforming it. You're bringing forth this information. And some of you can say, well, I don't even believe in this information. Well, that's okay. You still created it to create a contrast. Okay. I don't claim to know. I just claim to share what I know. But if what I know isn't resonant with you, that's okay too, because then it can trigger you to know your own knowing. All right. Kimmy Seagull. Shoo. What does Kimmy need to be brought into her awareness for her greatest, whatever she wants? for her greatest awareness of the I am that I am. Focus. So 17 is an 8. 8 equals that eternal, the 8 looks like that sideways infinity. I mean, the infinity sign. So you turn it straight up, and then that is abundant. So infinity, you're always abundant. You're abundant on so many levels and so many timelines that we're not even aware of our abundance. Spirit is also saying, because we're abundant, we're automatically abundant because we are here and we are eternal. How much more abundant than that can it be? The journey is never totally ended. It never ends. It goes on forever and ever and ever. So don't be too hard on yourself, Kimmy. They're saying, don't be too hard on, well, the title of this is focus. Don't be too hard on holding so much focus. It's almost like they're saying you can loosen up a little. And I don't know if this applies here or not, but you can loosen up. Allow your focus to take you where your discernment guides you. But this also talks about earlier on in this live, Spirit did say, pay attention to what your focus is. Pay attention to what your focus is. So isn't it everything always a dichotomy? Isn't it everything a paradox? Everything has got these opposing forces always coming together. Like, well, okay, you're telling me to loosen up, but earlier Spirit just said to focus. The woman on this card has a bow and arrow, and she's focused. To me, the focus is on the now, the focus in the present, the focus in the heart. That is where our focus is being called. As we focus on our heart and we focus in the present, when you go to shoot a deer or an animal or what have you with an arrow or whatever thing you've got to make hit a target, you're focused in the moment, you're breathing, you're aware of your breath, you're aware of every moment. So to me, this card is saying that should be your focus, where you are now, being aware of your breath, being aware of where your thoughts are, be aware as you're drinking your coffee, be aware as I'm speaking. It's just you are focused, but the focus from a higher frequency is oh, shit. Now Spirit is saying the focus also entails being not focused. And I think what Spirit means by that is not holding it um, by force. You know what I mean? Not forcing yourself to focus on subject matters or to dos or tasks. We've all been there, done that. Not holding yourself to an outside focal point, but allowing your focus of the now to decide what you focus on. Holy crap. It's like going around in circles sometimes with Spirit. Now they're sitting on there. They like to keep us, they say, you know, you like to do that to yourself. You like to set yourself down these little wormholes. So focus. But I'm going to read the book. So your focus in the present moment will allow you the space and the guidance to focus on what you need to be focused on. I'm sure you got that. I know I kind of ran around in circles with my tail, chasing my tail. All right, focus. 17. My child, when you draw this symbol, it is a wonderful sign that with focus, you will achieve what you want. Sorry about that, guys. If I give you an arrow and a bow to use, how will you shoot and hit your mark? This is a reminder that you must let go of all distractions and have courage to give it your all. Your arrow will be drawn to whatever you focus on, so keep your eye on the target. However, remember that you can't control every outcome. Just as the wind can influence the path of the arrow, there are many factors determining your course of your plans. To achieve anything, you must focus, take aim, and let go. So yeah, and that requires, I believe, maybe on another timeline, you were taught to be really stringent. I don't know if that's the word, really focused, very disciplined. And I think you're carrying some of those energies into this timeline where more force was needed, more action, more masculine energy was needed. And now they're saying to relax. Relax a little bit, focus on your present. And then that creates space for allowing you to know what to focus on, where to aim that arrow. And knowing that there's many variables in every moment. So to relax your focus in order to focus. Oh. All right. I am doing an experiment for 30 days to accept and receive my manifesting. Yes, I saw that on there. And I like that you say it's an experiment. I really like that because you're playing with it. You're not saying it's dead set in stone. You're still allowing other variables. When you say an experiment, that means you're open like a scientist to other variables, the unknowns. So that's great. Great, Kimmy. Anyone else? Gina, did you want one? I see I only got a couple people. Anybody else? I'm going to sign off. Very powerful, guys. You guys are master light blasters. And again, I thank you for your presence and your light. We are in this together. We are aspects of one another. We help to illuminate, encourage, and support our journey and our light's expansion. You already hold it. It's about allowing it. Sure. All right. Gina. Where's Gina one here? This one's sticking to me. Sticking to my fingers. This is a beautiful card. It looks like the moon. I'm not going to look at the words yet. I'll just do it intuitively. It looks like the moon, and she's standing in the light of the moon, and she's wearing white, and she's all sparkle, and she's all shiny. That's you, Gina. All shiny, sparkly. You've allowed the illusions of the moon and other energies and attachments. You have transmuted them. You brought them to light. The moon can represent illusions. It can represent dreams. It can represent the unconscious. It represents the cycles. It represents so much. It can also represent illumination. Well, you've gone full cycle of the moon. Oh, and it's a number 8. That's beautiful. You're on that infinite cycle. And it just shows that how you have transmuted any of those darker energies. You have brought them to the truth that they are. They're no longer shadows. The shadows in the night are no longer monsters and boogeymens. You see it for what it is. You see it all for the divinity, for what it is. You see it all created from you for you. You see the source and the light and all, because she's all sparkling. Remember how the whole earlier message was about bringing to light density, darkness, fear, evil, all of that stuff is just the absence of light. Well, you've infused it all with light. See the light shining from her, the sparkles? So your light is shining, a master light blaster holding its power to the fullest. You're not tricked. You're not delusioned. You're not in illusions. It says vision, Aphrodite. You hold the vision and you embody the state of love and light. You hold this, you're holding the space for heaven on earth. They're saying you hold the space for heaven on earth. And that's kind of funny because all your paintings to me look like glimpses of heaven, like what you might think heaven looks like, what you think in a utopia might look like. And that's why I like them, because they're all like, they look like cherubs, they look like angels, they look like mother guardians, they look like strength, they look like the beauty and the gardens and the life. That's the space you're holding. And Aphrodite, just that space of love. But let's see real quick what the book says, in case there's something here that might resonate with you. Oh, number 8. So you're on that infinity too, the infinite awareness of your divinity, of God's source energy. Okay, I'll just stick that there while I'm reading. That way not see me either. All right, within you, when you choose this symbol, it means that no matter what you lose in your life, something better will replace it. One day, in my house of night, there will be a young, beautiful vampire who will lose her mark, but gain great vision into the future. Even if a loss feels devastating at the moment, you still have so much to gain. If your question is about the future, choose another card. The magical vision that you will receive here gives you the temporary power to see your future as a vast place, full of possibility and potential. Your next card will provide insight into the conditions ahead of you. To know the future is to be prepared. So I guess that calls me to just pull another card. So if you have a question in mind, how something's going to turn out or whatever, just hold that. We'll just see what comes up. Just hold. We'll just see. I know you just are doing a general, but that card implies that maybe you are kind of wondering how something will turn out or be. So this card is just going to give you greater. There's 2 of them. Damn it. I mean, I don't mean damn it, but you know, trickier to interpret. Okay. So there's 2 cards here. I'm just going to give them to you. I'll let you interpret them. But if you had a question or a desire or, you know, just something you're thinking about, these 2 cards are going to help bring clarification to it. 6, 7, 8, 9. So the first one is 36. Differences. There we go. Black and white, yin and yang. Both 2 cats looking at the orange and the apple in the bowl. One's the light is looking at the dark. This one's kind of not paying attention too much, just kind of looking out. I'm feeling your energy because of the white too, and that other card kind of resonates with her, that white, beautiful gowned woman. I'm feeling that sort of like that. So to me, it's like you're looking at that darkness, and not darkness in a bad way. You know, you're just looking at it, you're pondering it. And you get your nourishment from that. You get your nourishment from working with both energies, because we got an orange and we got an apple here. And the apple also can represent, you know, Adam and Eve and the apple and the garden and all that, but differences. So something to do with differences, bringing differences together, getting them to come together. So ending of cycle. So to me, this is like ending of differences, bringing 2 differences and bringing them together to work out, respecting that. I don't know if it's to do with you or a family member or somebody else, but also respecting to be different, respecting each other, to not agree or whatever, or to agree, to bringing the differences together. So that has to do with something, but it's to do with an ending of a cycle. So to me, it's to do with the end of differences and bringing 2 differences into peace that are actually nourishing. But only you know how it means. And then we got congratulations. We got a little diploma here saying congratulations, 9, 10, 11, 12. So to that represents the 3, representing, like celebrations, like the 3 of Cups sometimes is celebrations, or the 3 of Wands, or is that 4 of Wands? Well, anyway, celebrations, bringing the 3, the mind, the body, the spirit together. That also represents going together with the differences, bringing some for a nice solid foundation from the differences, and success. So that's success. Building building to success. Success is the conclusion. So the difference is, in whatever your question or maybe just something you're contemplating, the difference is there will be success, basically. Congratulations. All right. As I say, darkness stands behind me. And sometimes it joins you. Sometimes I know you say darkness stands behind you, but to me, she's looking directly. It's actually in front of her on this picture, allowing it to be your buddy, your aid. All right, guys, thank you so much. My birth numbers are 369. Oh my gosh, my soul heart's true desire. It's really grateful. Thank you so much, guys. Balance, yeah, balance. Differences coming together is always balance, and that is bringing, when we bring our differences together, that is always true success, because we're allowing both sides to work, just like the yin and yang, the two coming together to create a new. I don't know if this has anything to do with the baby coming or your son or daughter-in-law. Hey, Tino, just wrapping up here. Tino, you want a quickie? I'm leaving, but I'll give you a quick card. I know you pop on every now and then. Want a quick card, Tino? Tino, we got to go live some point. Tino, I did the liberty to pull you a card. If you want to claim it, fine. If you don't, whatever. Oh, this was a good one. So this one is number 24. It represents lust. So lust can represent those things that we look to fulfill us in place of something deeper. So only you know the difference, if it's lust or if it's love. Please. This one's hard for me to interpret. Okay, so 24 represents, adds up to the number 6. The number 6 represents balance and harmony. So sometimes we might think we want something, but it doesn't bring us that true fulfillment. But I'm going to read it for you, okay? It's a tricky one for me to interpret, because sometimes it's hard for us to know the difference if it's lust or if it's love, because if we're supposed to trust our guidance, and even when we're lusting something, isn't that the experience that we're supposed to take in that moment? Because sometimes you can say, oh, I followed this path, or I went down this path, or I did that, or do I want money? Am I just lusting after something? Here it shows a romantic couple, but it doesn't necessarily even need to be that. It can just mean something you think you want on the outside that's going to bring a greater fulfillment. But even those paths in themselves are needed. Spirit is saying they are needed for our growth and on our journey, but it gives you something to reflect upon. And it's not that lust in itself is bad, wanting those outside things. The question is, Spirit is saying, is why do you lust that? Why do you want that? Is there something deeper within yourself you're trying to fulfill? It could be even someone who wants, say, perfect marriage or perfect job or that outfit or that shiny new car. There's nothing wrong with any of that stuff. But what Spirit is saying is go underneath the whatever that wanting is, whatever that outside need is that you think that you want or think that you're chasing. We're part of the humans are to do that and to discover that, and it teaches us about ourselves. So I just want to throw that out there. Spirit wanted me to say that. And what it says is 24. I think what Spirit is saying too, how do you know the difference between lust or love, or if it's something of your soul? Well, first of all, everything is of your soul. Every experience as a human is valid. There's nothing wrong with any of it. It gives us an opportunity to look at ourselves. Everything on the outside is reflecting us and giving us knowledge to bring us to self-awareness. And what Spirit is saying is, my dear one, when the symbol of lust has come before you, be aware that when you toy with this energy, you may become consumed by it. Oh yeah, that's what Spirit was also saying is, if you want to know if it's lust or truth or a true aligned journey that brings you forth the greatest joy and peace, well, does this lust, quote unquote, whatever way, shape, or form that is manifesting for you, Tino, does it bring you peace? Does it bring you joy? Does it bring you calm? Does it bring you relaxation? Do you feel settled? Does it feel like home? So they're saying how to know the difference if it's constantly something that is disturbing, that isn't peaceful, that stirs you up. The experience in itself is still necessary to teach you. But in the end, Lust isn't sustainable, but love is sustainable because only love is real anyways. All right. There is a fine balance between desire that is pure and obsession that arises in the insatiable thrill of danger. So lust is never satisfies you. You always want more, or you want to hold on to it, or you want to control it because it is just reflecting an energy that shows maybe an attachment outside of you that you are connecting to that can only be fulfilled from a truer connection, but yet that experience is necessary to get you to that point, to get you to that understanding. Be careful that your desire remains good and that your wanting doesn't cause hurt to yourself or another. It is best for you to move cautiously forward, and there's no harm in that. We're here to experiment, we're here to learn. No path is bad in itself. It is just asking you to reflect upon it. What it says is if you're asking about a relationship, you may be developing an obsessive fever that will take a long time to recover. Ask yourself, what is the nature of your desire? It's just asking you, what is the nature? Why are you desiring it? Why do you want it so badly? What is it you want? Beware, there is always a hidden agenda in lust. What is yours? So it could be lust in general is just we're trying to fill a hole. We're trying to fill something that can only be filled from ourselves first. But it doesn't mean you weren't supposed to take that path or not supposed to take that journey. It's just asking you to reflect. Why do I want it so bad? Why do I need that so bad? For some of us, it could be, why do I need that house so bad? Why do I need that car? Why do I want that job? Why do I want to be famous? Why do I want to, whatever it is? Is it for the sheer joy of it? Would you do it anyways, even if there was nothing in the end? Or is there something that you're trying to gain or attach to affirm, to verify your own self-worth? Not only that is, everything is always changing and in flux anyways. Nothing is permanent. So whatever that is, you're lusting, would you do it anyways, even if it meant nothing in the end? Are you doing it for the sheer joy and freedom of it? Or are you looking to attain something in the end? Only you know, Tino. Good message for all of us. Definitely going to watch the replay. Sorry, I'm tardy for the party. Hey, Leona, good. Thank you. Yeah, you can always, that's a beautiful thing. You can always watch replay. Devil spells lived backwards. Thank you, Gina. I have seen that before, but I forgot. So the devil, we need the lust, we need the darkness in order to truly live, because what it does is it transforms that energy through our experience of it. And then the light shines from it. The darkness, the devil, is just the absence of light, which is wisdom, knowledge, divinity, love. It's just the absence of the love permeating the situation, or that whatever it is you're going through, whatever the darkness, the density, the devil, the boogeyman, the demon is. It is just the absence of light. And we're here through our experience to transmute it, to bring out the light in it. Beautiful. We're going to end on that note. I'd rather be a human that has had many devil engagements than one that has never crossed the devil's path, because the devil is really an angel teaching us something about ourselves, a belief, an idea, something even unconscious about ourselves that we would not ever be aware of unless the devil brought it to our awareness. So thank you for that, Gina. I love that. Yes, we need to do some lives, Tino. You are so in tune. You're an angel, okay? That's all I can say. I look forward to doing a live with you at some point, Tino. And you got to go through shit to teach shit, okay? What do we got to share if we experience nothing? Moonchild. Oh my gosh, Gina. How appropriate that card was for you. All right, guys. Signing off. God, so beautiful. You guys are all so beautiful. Thank you so much for shining your light. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Tina, for popping on, because not only you needed that message, but I needed it, and whoever is aware of that message later needs it to bring that whole lust concept or something else within that message to greater understanding. May you all shine with the entirety of all the love and light that you are. And the only way to do that is to go through darkness, to go through the unknowing, to go through uncertainty, to go through, what's it called? Confusion, doubt, all of it. That's what we came for. Shoo.